What's in the box?
Ahoy, comic art merrymakers and wassailers. Stingray here, welcome you back to the Art Cove for one final video before the end of the year. It is Christmas time, it is the holiday season, and people all over the world are going to be opening lots and lots of presents and boxes and things, and you know, that's one of my favorite things to do on this channel, so I thought I would end the year with a mega unboxing extravaganza because I have not one, not two, not three, but four packages to open today, and some of these things are even actually in boxes. So it'll be a legit unboxing to celebrate the end of the year. And it's kind of great because one of these is a thing that I've been waiting for pretty much all of 2025 to get. And I'm very excited to finally get it and see it with my own two eyes. But we're going to start with this one here. Some of you may recognize this packaging. This piece of art that has been slabbed lovingly between two pieces of masonite, taped off with the yellow tape on the top and bottom. That's right, this comes all the way from CAF headquarters, from the Bill Cox. This is a mystery sketch that I got for myself for the Comic Art Live 12 that was held in November. And I got several mystery sketch cards that were gifts for other people. So that's cool. And this one here is a 9x12, a standard 9x12. So let's go ahead and get into there. Oh, I guess that's going to be a blank sketch card for use it. Yeah, OAX sketch card. Oh man. Okay, so this mystery sketch, for those of you who have been paying attention, you know that for the past couple Comic Art Lives, my mystery sketch theme has been, well, my prompt rather, has been your favorite Astro City character. I'm letting the artists choose. And this time I've gotten, well, it's interesting because I've gotten, this will be my fifth Astro City themed mystery sketch. And so far, I've gotten 5 different characters. I haven't gotten a duplicate yet, and from 5 different artists. And this one is amazing because this is a character that I have been kind of hoping to see somebody tackle in Mystery Sketch. And I realize it's a complex costume. It's maybe a little bit difficult. It's very detail-oriented, very colorful. But JP Quizon, aka Gigzilla from Next Comic Art, was the first one to tackle Jack in the Box.
Jack in the box!
From Astro City. He not only got the costume just right, he got the colors right, and we even got a nice little swoong sound effect, which is wholly appropriate for this character, I think. This is this is freaking awesome. And this is like so up JP's alley. I think like he really nailed this. I don't know, Jiggy, I don't know if you knew that JP was going to do Jack in the Box. I don't know if you suggested it, but man, this is, thanks JP and thanks Jiggy and thanks Bill for getting this to me. This one is awesome. This might be my favorite Astro City related mystery sketch thus far. Maybe. But yeah, that's a good one. That is awesome. So thank you for that. Now, where do we go from here? The next thing I think we're going to open is, oh, this is just a recent purchase of mine. Get that out of here. This is just a piece of OA that I bought during a Black Friday sale, actually. This comes from an artist that is with Kinetic Collectibles. And I have been a fan of the book. This is actual comic art. I've been a fan of the book that this is from for a while now. Okay. Oh. Oh, there we go. Well, let's get all of this out of the way. So this is from a Dark Horse comic called Orphan and the Five Beasts, Baths of Blood. Now, if you're not familiar, Orphan and the Five Beasts was a 4-issue miniseries that came out in 2022, I think. So about 3 years ago, roughly. And then the series kind of ended abruptly. At least it seemed like it to me. It definitely didn't reach what I would have thought of was a natural ending point for the series. And I didn't know what was going on, and I didn't really take the time to look into it, to research it or any of that. And it just kind of went away. And I thought maybe it got canceled or something. And then lo and behold, it came back in 2025 with a second miniseries called Orphan and the Five Beasts, Baths of Blood. So this page is from issue number, I think it's number 2. Does it say here? Yeah, issue 2, page 5, because it doesn't say it on the actual page. And this series is written, all of the art and pencils, inks, whatever, and the lettering. It is, and I think even the coloring, although I believe that's digital. All of it is done by none other than James Stokoe. Now, this page is one. There's so many reasons why I love this comic. It is a good old-fashioned kung fu adventure story. It has some kind of fantasy elements to it. It's got some horror elements to it, which I like. There's a lot of body horror elements, especially in this second miniseries, that are just really, really fun. As a fan of horror and kung fu, it feels like a natural fit, and I love the way that Stokoe kind of marries those two genres together. Now, this page, I chose this one for a couple of reasons. First of all, at the top here, you get this really lovely establishing shot. Stokoe's art is very cinematic, and he approaches his storytelling in a very cinematic way. And so there are a lot of pages that start with just that, an establishing shot, showing you the environment in which this portion of the story, this scene, is going to take place. And I love it because he packs so much detail, like the line work in the trees and the houses, the windows, like each individual tile on the roof is rendered out. Even if it's just a few lines, you see it, it's there, the work is there, and it just looks great. And then that next panel, we see the inside of the house. So the characters here, this is Zan, who is Dr. Chun's wife. Dr. Chun is the guy we see in the third panel there. But I love how you get the word balloon. You can tell that it's coming from outside, even though we're looking inside. And then we cut back outside and we see that door that we were just peering through. And here's Dr. Chun, and he's talking, saying, "Do you have any idea what this means for Zan, for my family?" And then he gets a response from this disembodied hand. And then he says, "Is that all you have to say for yourself?" to the hand. And the hand starts to writhe and wriggle, and all of its juicy bits that are hanging out, all of the viscera start to squirm and shake. And then this final panel, the viscera is coming out of the stump of the hand and forming not only the word balloon, but the letters inside of it. And so we're getting this really creepy depiction of the hand talking to the doctor. And the next page, it gets even worse and even more gross, and I love it. But this page I just thought was good because I love the establishing shot. I love that last panel, and that little thin panel here of the doctor's eye as the hand starts to talk to him and form words out of viscera. That's such a great, and this is just so, it's such a I don't know, it's such a precursor of some of the more gross things to come later in the story, but this is just a really great example that I decided that if I was going to get a page from this issue, I had to get one that had the stumpy words created by the hand, and this one's really great, and all of the the lettering, which is done on the page, hand lettering, like we love that, right? You don't see that too much in modern comics anymore. If you haven't read this book, the trade paperback for the first series is out. Issue number 4 of the second mini, I think, will be out in January, so look for that. I'm hoping that, I don't know how many 4-part miniseries there will be, but so the story is called Orphan and the Five Beasts. The titular orphan, her name is Mo. She fought 2 of the 5 beasts in the first series, and in this series we're introduced to the third. And there are 2 more beasts that we don't know their names, we don't know what they look like, we don't know anything about them. So I have to imagine there's going to be at a minimum 1 more 4-issue mini, if not 2 or 3, because I don't know. And I'm hoping the next one comes out in less than 3 years, you know, less time than it took for this one to come out. At the end of the day, I hope that we get enough material that Dark Horse will put out the whole thing maybe in one of their Dark Horse library editions, which are their versions of, you know, oversized hardcovers, which I think are just typically really nice, really well made. So I'm looking forward to that eventually, hopefully. And that's all for that one. Now, next on deck, this package just showed up today. I have been waiting to see this since January. Now, the thing with this one is I've seen this already because it was posted to social media by the artist that did it. And then this is coming from a Felix artist, and he posted it on social media as well. So there's every chance that a lot of you have seen this one. I'm still, you know, I feel like you get to see art for the first time twice. There's when you see it online and you see it on a screen, and then there's when you see it with your own two eyes, you know. And that is what I am very much looking forward to with this one now. So let's get into this bad boy. Oh, okay, there's just extra boards there. Oh, baby. Oh, this is so beautiful already. I am excited. I am just gonna slip this out of the sleeve. Uh-oh. My hand was stuck. Okay, there we go. Oh, man. This is just so good. So this one is kind of a big deal for me because if you hadn't guessed already, this is Stingray by Nick Darrington. And the reason that this one is a big deal is because I have been a fan of Nick Darrington since he did the run on Doom Patrol with Gerard Way. DC gave Gerard Way his own imprint, Young Animal. He did Doom Patrol, and I think at least one other book, but I can't even remember the title of it. But I thought Nick was really well suited to Doom Patrol. He does the weird very well. He does superhero action very well. Actually, I don't think there's anything I've seen him try to tackle that didn't look great. So he does everything well, and he has this really unique style that is. It leans toward an almost animated style, I want to say, but without being super duper stylized, like say a Bruce Timm or something along those lines. I don't know. It's somewhere in between traditional superhero and more animated. It doesn't get super cartoony, you know. Although what is fascinating to me about this piece is like Stingray looks, you know, he's got a very traditional superhero pose there. He could have just, if he wasn't underwater, you know, I'd say he just performed a superhero landing, right? And now he's looking up and he's looking heroic and noble and all that stuff. He's ready to save the ocean from whatever threat it may be facing. But then you've got these super adorable, cute little pink, peach colored stingrays down there that are just, when I saw those on the socials, I was just like, oh my God, those are fucking adorable. So, and then like the little eel, he's so cute. But man, like the level of detail in this is really great. All of the rocks, the bubbles and the stuff in the water, the color variation in the water here, you can tell where it was, I don't know if it was a sponge or a tissue or something that kind of like just dabbed around, maybe a brush, just a lot of like dabbing, you know, something along those lines, dappling. I think that's what I was trying to say. To get the look and the gradient and the water, giving it an almost smoky texture. The detail on Stingray, and then obviously the colors in this are just beautiful, freaking phenomenal. I've seen, and the thing is I've seen a lot of these that Nick has done as part of this run of commissions. He did that Two Gun Kid. There's a Superman Batman that was really great. The Venom. There's been just the Barda and Mr. Miracle. There's just been a whole slew of these, and each one has been better than the last. Obviously, this is the best one. I think we all know that, right, man? And so here's the thing too is, you know, as I mentioned, I've been a fan of Nick since Doom Patrol, so that's been at least 10, 12 years somewhere in there, maybe even longer at this point. I don't remember, but I have thought for a long time man, he would do a great Stingray. I would love to get a commission from him. And I just kind of like waited. I always had like, my one eye open to try and catch if he was to open a commission list. And I knew he was with Felix. He has been for at least the last decade, I think. And I just have been waiting and waiting and waiting. And then this January, and I want to say it was the week after OAX, like 3 days after I got home from OAX, Felix dropped a newsletter saying that Nick's commission list was open. And I was like, you bastard. My wallet is still aching from getting beat up at OAX. And you're going to drop this commission list that I have to be on. This wasn't a want, this was a need. I had to be on this one because I've been waiting to get a commission from Nick for years. And, Felix knows what he's doing. And I said, could you do time payments? She's like, I got you, fam. So, yeah, thanks to Felix for making this happen, for allowing me to do time payments after I spent way too much money at OAX. This is fantastic. And what's really crazy is that this commission list that Nick took through Felix in January was the first commission list of his career. And man, with the quality that he's been putting out, and I think everybody who's gotten one of these has just been astounded by the level of quality on it. I hope he does more commissions in the future so that other people can get them, because these are just fantastic. And this has been done for a while. It just took some time for Nick to get it to Felix, and then Felix to scan it and send it out among all of the other art that he's got piled up to send out to people. And I know it takes time. So, but it seems like Nick had most of these done within a few months, like 6 to 8 months, I'd say. So not an unreasonable time frame. And now this is finally here, and I couldn't be happier. This is just phenomenal. This is easily one of the best commissions that I picked up this year. So yeah, if Nick does end up doing another commission list in the future, I would say that everybody should do their best to get on it, because his work is beautiful. I'm going to be staring at that one for a while when I'm done filming here. Now, this last package comes from Oregon. This is from a fellow CAFer named Jason Husa, not sure which. Jason and I are working on a deal. I'm selling him a piece of art. It's a very light box, so I'm interested to see what might be in here. Well, there's a couple of, there's stuff, more packing peanuts. Oh, okay. I think I might know what this is. More peanuts. Hey, Newell, I don't know if you've ever heard of a game called Hero Clicks, but if you've ever played it, you probably already have these. But I couldn't pass up the opportunity to grab these when I saw them. Even if you don't play, heck, especially if you don't play, they're fun to put at your work desk or wherever you need a shot of a little comic goodness to help you through your day. Anyways, I just wanted to say a sincere thank you once again for allowing time payments on your Brian Hitch Ultimate Invasion spread, along with a very happy holidays. Take care, Jason. So it looks like we have a couple of Hero Clicks figures and then the cards. So I just got to see if I can get in here. Maybe if I just cut this tape open. Oh, that works. Oh, yeah. And I think, is this, hold on, let me open the other one too. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. So it looks like we have, okay, yeah. So this one is like a traditional Stingray. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it very well on there. And it comes with the card, yeah, just Stingray. And it comes with a card that has the cover of the first appearance of Stingray, Namor the Submariner number 19, 1969. And then the other one, this is fun because this is Stingray when he was part of Deadpool's Mercs for Money He was part of the team for a little bit where Deadpool basically franchised, and he had several other characters, including Stingray, Terror Inc., and Slapstick, and they all dressed like Deadpool, and he would send them out kind of like, Ronald McDonald or Santa Claus, right? They would put on Deadpool costumes and go out and do work as him. So it was a weird but fun little comic. And here is actually, this card has a picture of a cover that was a variant for one of the Mercs for Money covers, where it's an action figure cover by, his name is Tyler something. I can't think of it, but Tyler something. But he does these covers that look like very realistic action figures, and this one was the Stingray as Deadpool with the Mercs for Money, and it comes with it comes with a Deadpool head, it comes with a Walter Newell head, and then the other accessory was a narwhal with like a little Deadpool bandana. So that was kind of cool. Jason, if you're watching this, I played HeroClix for like a couple of months back, a couple of years pre-COVID, I believe. I used to hang out at a game store a lot, and I'd play Magic the Gathering and board games with some friends, and a couple of them were kind of into the clicks, and I ended up buying a few packs just to see what I got, and I played a few times, I think, and that was about it. I don't currently own any clicks. I think I ended up giving them all away just because none of them, they were taking up space and I didn't really know what to do with them. So I don't have any Stingray clicks. Well, I didn't, and now I have two. So thank you, Jason. That is unexpected, but really awesome. And I am very happy to have those and add those to the Stingray collection. So that's awesome. Now, I have opened my 4 packages for the day, but I have one last thing I wanted to show off because it is Christmas, it is the season for giving, and I got one of the most awesome Secret Santa gifts ever this year. So some of the folks on CAF get together every year and do a Secret Santa. The gifts do not have to be art, but obviously being that we are all art nerds, a lot of the gifts were art. And I didn't know up until like a week before the Secret Santa who got my name. And so I just assumed whoever was going to get me was going to look at my calf gallery and be like, oh, this guy's a Stingray lover. We'll get something Stingray related. I did not get anything Stingray related. My Secret Santa turned out to be Bill Cox, the founder of CAF. And Bill knows what I like outside of Stingray. And so he got me something that I had told him directly that I wanted. I'd gone to Bill for help getting it because he, is kind of my inroads to getting Brian Hitch art. If you know, you know. And so Bill knows that I am a huge fan of the comic Redcoat. It's a Ghost Machine title through Image. It's written by Jeff Johns with art by Brian Hitch. And it's one of my favorite comics right now, along with Orphan and the Five Beasts. It's one of the books that when I see it in my pile of digital books, it's one of the first ones I read. And Bill got me a page from one of my favorite issues, and this is just such a great page. If you don't know Redcoat, it's about a British soldier who wore the eponymous red coat, and he was kind of a defector, and he kind of doesn't really fight for anybody. He fights for whoever pays him the most. But at one point early on, he stumbles into a cult ritual. He accidentally becomes an immortal in place of Benjamin Franklin. So this is Simon Pure. He is the titular Redcoat. And what's interesting about this book is, it starts off in the 1880s. It jumps around. This page is from issue 7. It takes place in it was either the late 50s or the early 60s. I don't remember exactly, but somewhere in that time frame. And Redcoat still exists somewhat in the future. And he has encountered Geiger, which is another Ghost Machine title. The Glowing Man, I should say, from Geiger, which is another Ghost Machine title that takes place, 25 years in our future. So what's cool is this book has a lot of historical adventure. It has Simon fighting, in various wars, Civil War, Revolutionary War, in the far future. Well, not the far future, but in the future. And so it jumps around a bit. But one of the cool things was in the first 6 issues of the book, the story had Simon fighting a bunch of cultists in America, and actual historical figures show up. People like Benedict Arnold, George Washington makes a brief appearance, Benjamin Franklin, people like that. And one of Simon, the character that kind of becomes Simon's sidekick for the first story is none other than a very young, I want to say around 10-year-old Albert Einstein. Now, at the that was the first 6 issues, and in this issue, we see in this page in particular, you see Simon go into a bar staring at a pint. He's being very introspective, very serious, and contemplative, and then he ends up leaving with the pint still on the bar. And when he leaves the bar or the pub, he goes straight to the hospital where he goes to visit a good friend of his who's on their deathbed. Based on what I had said already, you may be able to guess who it was. If not, spoiler alert, whatever. But yeah, so anyway, that was a very emotionally heavy issue. This issue number 7 was. And there was a couple, I didn't think that Hitch would come up off of any of the pages from that one, because he seems to be somebody that likes to keep pages that mean something to him. For example, I don't think he sold anything from Redcoat number 1, or he hasn't to date. So I didn't think any of these pages would be available, but I asked Bill if he could ask Hitch if these would be for sale. I never heard from Bill. I just assumed that meant that Hitch never got back to him. And lo and behold, this is what I got for Christmas. Bill surprised me. I legitimately was not expecting this, and when I opened up the Masonite and saw this page sticking out at me, I was shocked in the best possible way. Bill, thank you so much. This is one, like I said, this is easily one of the best Secret Santa gifts I have ever received. This is a great page from an issue that I love, from a book that I love. You nailed it, and you are an impeccable gifter. Whoever's name you draw next year will be amazed and astounded, and hopefully I'm not building it up too much, and if they see this, hopefully by next Christmas they'll forget, so that you're not built up too much. But thank you so much. This is just truly a phenomenal gift. So yeah, that's all of my packages and presents and Christmassy type goodness. So thank you to Bill for the Secret Santa and for getting me the mystery sketch. Thank you to JP and Jiggy for that one. Thanks to Felix and to Nick Darrington for the Stingray commission. And thank you to James Stokoe for creating a really awesome comic in Orphan and the Five Beasts, and for sending me that beautiful page. And thank you to Jason Hussa for the cool HeroClix figures. That is it for me. This will be the final video of 2025, and I look forward to seeing you all again in 2026. Have a great Christmas and holidays, New Year, all of it. Whatever you celebrate or don't, enjoy your time off, enjoy the next week or so, and we'll get back at it in the new year. See you in the next video.